Afternoon and good evening. Welcome back to another Clearmud live stream. How's everyone doing today? Today we're primarily working out of Hermes. Obviously we'll squirrel a little bit, work on a few other things, and we might start working on the boot camp curriculum for Hermes agent. And good evening. Let's make sure we're live. Back to another. Perfect. Looks like we're good to go. Tab. Has anyone tested Flash 3.5 yet? I didn't have the time yesterday, and I just started watching Theo's video about it today. Not sure if anybody's caught this yet. But I always like his take. For sure, I like his take. It's very bold making a video about this because from what I understand, the last time he talked badly or gave his honest opinion on, I believe it was anti-gravity in 3.1 Pro. I guess his video like got flagged, got a bunch of warnings. That's pretty sad to see them doing that to YouTube videos. Interesting. Yeah, I'm personally, like, as far as migrating like prompt browser, it uses 3.1 Flash. I'm not jumping it up to 3.5 because it's like a 4x in cost. They charge $9 per million output. Whereas I believe, let's go check Google API costs. Look at this. $9. I mean, 2 Flash was what? Cents? Like 40 cents or 50 cents? I can't remember what it was. But look at this versus 150. That's almost like that's such an insane jump. Like what the like what? Let's go check where's 2? 2 Flash. Let's go to 2.5 Flash. Okay, 250. 40 cents. And 2.5 Flash is great. I believe they're degrading 2, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they're degrading 2 Flash, which was 30 cents. I mean, oh yeah, me too. So I have a Google Ultra plan. I'm looking forward to digging into it. I just, you know, maybe I'll force a video this week about it since it's fresh. Maybe tomorrow I'll spend a lot of time playing with it after my appointments in the morning. But when it comes to using their API tokens for, you know, the free tool that I have in prompt browser, I'm not doing that. There's just no way. Like, you're kidding me, right? Like, you're kidding me, right? Ooh, looks like I don't have an automation to have these automatically run, so it looks like people are actually using the site. I haven't checked analytics for the site yet, in a while actually, to be honest. But I do know it's working, right? I do have health checkers on it. Oh, somebody recently ran a very old video. Very, very old video. It's always cool. Like, I've discovered new creators and new channels just from what other people are running. It's really awesome to see. Interesting. Interesting. It's at least beating the car wash test. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I've been hearing that it's better than 3.1 Pro in some cases. I think the real value in Gemini is all the integrations in Google Apps. Sadly, I largely de-Googled a while ago. Yeah, you know, I tried to de-Google, but it's just the reality. Like, I need to stay Googled at some, you know, at some level. So I don't mind it, right? And it's also good to stay on top of things, but yeah, I understand why. Yo, what's up, Koi? Good day. How you doing today? All right, let's get into product OS. So I started, this is just a direct reflection of this plugin. I started working on a plugin. Originally, I started building out my own team section in product OS since we consolidated our team last on Monday. But then I thought, what if I make a plugin that product OS just mirrors into our styling on this OS? So then I started working out of the Hermes agent dashboard, because this is going to be something that I think I'm just going to release, right? I'm just going to add to our resources on clearmud.ai and allow people to download the plugin for free, right? And I don't know if anything else like this exists. Mr. Baker, I think you would be able to tell me, but it's essentially an agent atlas, and it's all dependent on your profiles here. Now, the difficulty, I think, is more making the proper assumption of what agent goes where in the org chart. So I think having some type of onboarding for the agent atlas as far as like, okay, walk us through your profiles. Who's your, what's the orchestrator? Do you have this set up like an organization, or do you just want this to be shown, on a graph? I'm going to, build this with the assumption that people want a traditional top-down org chart showing the flow of how their agents work and report to one another. And then we're going to I didn't do too much work on this. This is a placeholder. Let me actually, looks like I need to move my video for today because I have some functions up there. Let's see, unlock. There we go. Move it down to the left for today. Although maybe I have to move it down here permanently, huh? All right. But I have these, these toggles here. We haven't worked on floor or 3D. These are just placeholders. I was more so just dialing in the list. But one thing I wanted to make sure of, it's like, not everyone is building their own S like this. So I wanted to keep in mind of like, no matter what theme you create or use, the plugin works and it adapts based off of that theme. You know what I mean? So yeah, today we're just going to work on this, I think, and slowly continue to improve product OS, and we might set up a few automations, although that's not the priority for today. Wait. Ooh, I honestly like this large better, but I think for the sake of seeing everything here, let's just go in here. All right. I'm just going to work out of the TUI right now, do a hard refresh. Yeah, definitely. Thanks, man. Hey, I can't complain. It's a beautiful day. And yeah, we'll also work on that curriculum for Boot Camp Season 2. I don't know if we'll set a date today, but now I think for this boot camp, I really want to take the approach of obviously come prepared, come with a fresh install or your existing install of Hermes. And then having a team in mind, obviously. This is why I think, honestly, for this boot camp, we might be able to just knock it out in like a 12-hour live stream. Or like an 8-hour live stream. Let's be realistic here. Or I just pick a week, maybe the last week, the first week of June. We just Monday through Friday, just do the Hermes Boot Camp. Should probably update Hermes before we get started, eh? Ask me later. I think I'll upgrade once I migrate this to the server. Yo, what's up, Ryan? How you doing today? Welcome back. Now I kind of feel like I should move these chats down. Maybe we'll pop these next to my maybe bottom right. Let me know what you guys think about this new layout. Maybe we'll stick with it. Not sure yet. But then again, I kind of like the idea of moving that right there. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave it like this for now. We'll see how this goes. But when I go and hit this one, it'll move everything back because I copied that layout. Not aware of any similar plugins. I've only seen the org charts from people that have built entire dashboards. Okay, nice. So maybe this will be a, you know, not necessarily that I'm making it for it to be a popular plugin, but more so a useful plugin for people who don't want to take the time to build their own. We'll see. And not everyone's building their Hermes agent like an org, you know? So that's why I think it's going to be a very specific use case. Or for those who are selling solutions to small to mid-sized companies and just want a pre-built solution to incorporate into their offerings. Yeah, I read somewhere that I believe Gemini CLI is going to be replaced by anti-gravity CLI. They're really going with that name. Correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, it looks like I'm not signed in there. Let me sign in on this real quick. Do I have a VPN enabled or something? Why is it doing that? Interesting. It's giving me captchas as if I'm not in my normal location. Interesting. All right. Nice.
Websites your competitors don't want you to know. Part 2.
Why is it showing me the whole page now? That's kind of annoying, huh? Maybe just mute that. That's actually kind of a nice feature. Kind of like that. I think I'm gonna leave that. Put that right there. Okay. Good to know. Yeah, I personally, you know, I never chase new updates to begin with, so. I also think that when I get this server up and running and reliable, for that matter, I'm going to deploy a clean Ubuntu server install, a headless mode, I think, and then migrate to that headless mode rather, because it just takes less resources, you know. But then again, like, I have a feeling for some of the workarounds that we're gonna do for when, you know, Claude's just shooting themselves in the foot. But I believe there's gonna be a way to use an agent to spin up Claude in the terminal and use the interactive mode as if it's a human, creating certain rules of operation of, like, move your mouse around, right, in a certain, like, human-like action before you start working in the CLI. Make sure you pause and don't instantly prompt back to back, right? I think there's going to be some workarounds now. They're not going to be ideal, but yeah, this is the way to go. I've been doing Ubuntu desktop because, you know, originally I liked the idea of, you know, and I still do this for OpenClaw sometimes. Now I do it all on my host PC. I don't have to, like, go and check it. But early on, I would have my OpenClaw agents control the profile of the browser on that VM, bring up whatever they're going to post, stage the content, and then I go physically onto the VM and approve, change some text, etc., etc. So it's like they do all the heavy lifting, prep the post, open whatever pages they need to open, and then I can go in, make edits in line. Now in headless mode, I can't do that, right? It's different. So that's why I do like the idea of keeping one or two on Ubuntu desktop, but I think a majority of the systems are going to migrate to a Ubuntu server distro. All right, we're updated. We can go back. Let's do a hard refresh. Hard refresh here as well. Not reachable yet, huh? Let's give it a moment. I don't know, just a little glitch there. Now, before we get started, do we want a movie night? Do we want a movie day? I kind of want to finish watching this video. I'll probably skim through it.
Twice as expensive as 3.1 Pro was, because it generated so many more tokens. So sure, the per token cost might be half as much as Pro, but the cost in actually using it is massive because it wastes tokens like I've never fucking seen. So I don't care how fast it is because it's not going to complete tasks faster because it's going to generate such an absurd amount of tokens. If it's...
Yeah, this feels like the way to go for sure. And yeah, like I honestly think server is the way to go, but it's like if you have that particular use case where you actually want your agents to control a browser profile and then have you go on, like if you're having your agents prep posts for you in any way that doesn't involve API, like for what is it, Substack, I don't do that anymore. I just have it create a draft for me and then I check Substack. Now I haven't been posting recently on Substack nor the newsletter because it felt too repetitive. I didn't want to just keep posting the same thing that we were posting on YouTube. So we're going to be taking a new approach starting in June. We're just defining a new strategy for Substack and our newsletters. But the next newsletter that you're going to see is probably just going to be promoting the free Hermes Agent Boot Camp that is TBD. It's not scheduled yet, but it's coming very soon. It's coming very soon. And yesterday I did a lot of work. You guys may not see it. Added this cool little feature, but we kind of put a placeholder landing page for the bootcamp. We archived the old bootcamp here, so you can still access that page. And then I did a lot on the back end. You're not going to see it, but I now have an admin section essentially, which is pretty nifty. But Ryan, I know you were in the Discord and I know you were mentioning that briefly, like the website was kind of buggy. I was working on it real time yesterday, so that's what you experienced. All right, we can close that. Let me finish watching.
It's 2x faster than other models, but it generates 4 times the amount of tokens it needs. It still ends up being 2x slower. But if it's good, it's worth it, right? Well, let me show you something. One of my recent favorite agentic benches is taking my old game I was working on, Fish Slop, and asking the model to rewrite it with access to the original source, but the ability to rebuild it in a better, more stable way so that I can finish the game with a less sloppy code base. So how did 3.5 Flash do? Not very good. It is the only model I have run this test on that didn't manage to make it work. It wrote code that was broken. It didn't check, it didn't run anything, it didn't do anything. So I told it to fix it, and it did. And somehow the actual version is worse. It has this awful glow. The fish it put in the game are too big to actually do anything with. The feeding mechanic doesn't work. The aging mechanic doesn't work. This guy doesn't do anything at all. It's just entirely broken. Like,
currently use CachyOS for my desktop, so the computer use is not really an option for me at this point, at this moment. Right on. Yo, what's up, cross-eyed sensei? Fellow Cali native here. How you doing today? Man, I'm pretty sure the weather's cooling down here, which is nice.
like it didn't even
I'm not looking forward to an
get it
insane
right.
heat wave.
Oh, I guess that his thing works.
I did create, I'm going to go off on a rant here. I did create a makeshift fan. First time I ever did this. I have like this tabletop fan right here to my left. And I just got this small tray that I use to like bake brownies and like those types of cakes with. So it's very shallow. I put a whole bunch of ice in it with some salt and put it right in front of the fan. I gotta say, like, obviously nothing compares to a traditional AC cold blowing air, but it was out of all the heat waves I've survived and lived through in this apartment, I'm shocked this is the first time I've tried this. And we're not even technically in a heat wave. It was just very warm here. It's, yeah.
To do
Cool
images,
little DIY thing. Cool little
they all
DIY
suck,
thing.
and some of them don't even have their transparency set right. This is embarrassing. This is like legitimately embarrassing for a allegedly state-of-the-art model. I gave the same task to 5.5, and it did it so well. I asked it to make the game 3D instead, and it did that too. Insane that they are shipping something.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I wouldn't compare 3.5 Flash to 5.5. Like, but
shit in claiming it's good at this type of thing. Like,
hold on, let me. Yo, hello, Adlan. Welcome. How you doing today? So the easiest way to do it is to. It comes with its own pre-built dashboard, right? So you can. Oh, this video is now. Let me just readjust the terminal A. There we go. You just type in Hermes dashboard and it'll spin up your dashboard. Now, it doesn't stay persistent in the sense of if you close out that session, it closes the dashboard. So the easiest way to do it is just spin up Hermes TUI and tell it, hey, I'd like to enable the built-in dashboard and make sure that it's always running in the background. And whenever I reboot the host PC, which, you know, runs Hermes, make sure that the dashboard comes online with it, and you'll get a link for your dashboard. It should be on port 9119 is the default port for your default profile. But that's how you would essentially get access to all this built-in, you know, the built-in Hermes agent dashboard. Hope that helps. Thanks for the question. Yeah. Hey, that'd be awesome. Yeah, just Marcelo at Clearmud.ai. That's the one. One L. No two L's over here. You know what's funny? On my to-do list for today is an ideation. Like, I want to spend time coming up with new logo concepts because I have a few ideas and I want to get them out of my brain. So it's funny that you mentioned that on today's live stream. It's fitting. I'm not surprised, you know?
Actually absurd. And that's
love it.
separate from all of the terrible bugs I ran into with the anti-gravity CLI. And here is where the next stage of this crash out happens. First off, scroll is broken. I'm trying to scroll.
Wait, did they already incorporate?
And it's putting my inputs from before in the input box instead of scrolling. I'm not running tmux. I'm not SSHing. This is a boring, ghosty terminal instance.
Oh.
And the CLI just doesn't work. Oh, also, email leak, face, do your thing. Control-C doesn't work to exit it. You have to manually /exit.
I thought that was coming soon.
And every time you open it, it has to re-sign in.
So I'm guessing they dropped this yesterday,
that sucks, but how is it to actually use? Let's start with some / commands. I'll make sure we're using flash high. Did that right. Didn't leave UI in the bottom like it did before. Let's hope it continues to do things right. Thankful I'm filming this off stream because it doesn't seem like there's any way to hide my email from inside of the CLI. Love that. Oh, I don't know if you saw that. The generating getting frozen and locked up. Tip, to disable tips, toggle show tips in settings. Cool. Notice how the input box is moving all around. It consistently does that.
Oh, you know what?
Even better is it often will ask you for feedback, like it'll ask questions, it'll ask you to literally submit feedback to the team, those types of things. And when it does that, see if I can force it. Control S to submit for some reason. Okay, that time it cleared properly. Earlier, when I did that, it left all the other UI in the bottom, and I couldn't get rid of it, and it would just change where I was typing. It's the buggiest CLI I've used in a while. It was really, really bad.
Yeah, there's something to it. Like, listen, I know a lot of people will have a great experience with anti-gravity, but I, like, the first 2 weeks of using it, solid. But after that, just been buggy central.
Ran into so many broken, buggy states when I was trying it earlier.
Now I'm not looking forward to using this version 1 of anti-gravity CLI, if I'm being honest. I'm not looking forward to it.
I actually couldn't fathom it. And the fact that I have to close with their special /exit command is just the icing on the shit cake. Is that Gemini CLI wasn't trash. If you're not familiar, Gemini CLI is an open source project that Google made for using their models. This came out a little after the Codex CLI and the Claude Code stuff blew up originally, like early last year, I believe. Gemini CLI was not my favorite thing, but you might have noticed I don't talk too much trash on it. Well, we'll get to why in a bit. I actually had a lot of faith in this team though, and it was cool having a good open source option, in particular because a lot of the other labs, specifically the Chinese ones, were using this as a starting point to make their own CLIs, and it seemed like a good starting point there. They had some cool patterns in it for making and sharing skills and workflows. Like, this was a fine project that was going places. Flashbang warning. An important update. Transitioning Gemini CLI to the anti-gravity CLI. When we shipped Gemini CLI last year, our goal was to bring the magic of Gemini directly into your terminal. Along the way, we've learned a lot from our community of billions of users with over 100k GitHub stars, 6,000 merged PRs, and hundreds of contributors, including you love a good terminal UI you appreciate. I think this is a bug in the formatting of this post. Yeah, it is. It is what it is.
Post
they had over 100k
Gemini.
stars, 6,000 PRs merged, and according to them, you love a good terminal UI, you appreciate that we ship weekly releases, and your workflows have simply outgrown those early days of 2025. Gemini CLI proved the terminal could be an incredible interface for agentic tasks, but your needs shifted. You require multiple agents communicating with each other to split up the work and solve complex problems. This means your terminal tools need to share a unified backend with the rest of your workflow. They're folding it into anti-gravity, and they put out a new anti-gravity CLI that was written from scratch in Golang. Anti-gravity CLI focuses on all of the core functionalities of invoking, monitoring, and interacting with anti-gravity agents. It does not try to be a GUI, which is better suited for anti-gravity 2. This way, it remains perfect for users who prefer a true, fast, and lightweight CLI experience. Obviously not fun, but we can keep using Gemini CLI, right? Well, on June 18th, Gemini CLI and Gemini Code Assist IDE extensions will stop serving requests for Google AI Pro and Ultra. So those who are in the subscription plans, like I am, to use Gemini models and our coding tools, will only be allowed to use it with anti-gravity going forward. But at least we can fix the new CLI, right? Nope, because it's closed source.
AGY now,
So Google killed a promising open source CLI that was building faith with the community in favor of a closed source CLI that doesn't fucking function. Are you joking? Okay, so far we have a model that sucks at coding, that doesn't actually write code that works. We have a CLI that's replacing a decent open source one with an absolutely broken closed source one. At least it's written in Go, right? Cool, instead of TypeScript. So terrible. But that's not even the worst thing Google did today.
CLI.
We need to talk about Railway for a second. I know they've been a sponsor in the past. They will likely sponsor future.
It says run AGY to start the CLI, right? I run AGY, but all it does is it opens up the desktop anti-gravity app. Great, Google. Wonderful. Let me try updating it, and maybe I just need to update it. But awesome. Great.
Future videos.
Yeah.
I love their service. It's actually one of my favorite ways to deploy.
Let me do a quick pause on movie night here. What's up, Maestro? When you say you couldn't listen to him, you're not vibing with the way he talks. I know Theo is an acquired taste for sure. But I really love his input, his background, his experience, the way he talks about things and explains things. That's what has drawn me to Theo's channel more than anything. I really go here to like listen to someone I trust with unfiltered, opinions that aren't biased. You know what I mean? Actually, I think he's biased to an extent, but nevertheless, that's why I watch him. What up, Fourth Baker Crozy? Right on. Thank you. I'll check it out here shortly after the live stream. I agree here. I agree. And maybe I'm biased, right? But GPT 5.5 like allowed OpenClaw to be like usable again. Like, and when I say usable, I was using it during that time frame where Anthropic dropped the ban hammer. However, I was more relying on the crons and the automations that I set than actually interacting with the agents during that 2 to 3 week span, right? The crons plus skill combo automations I had in place, they were solid. Sure, there were a few little hiccups, but that is what kept my system running. If I had to troubleshoot and build things with my agents off of GPT 5.4, I tried and I just stopped and decided to be patient. In 5.5, I mean, I've been using Codex every day. I find myself using Claude less and less. And even with their most recent update, it's like the one demo account I kept for max user, I might have to downgrade because I feel like I'm just throwing money away. It's like, come on, Anthropic, step your game up. What's up, F World? I don't know if I like how Hermes agent does all the coding tasks. Takes 30 minutes, 1 hour, nothing breaks, but it does take a while. Yeah, you know, I think this is a positive and negative depending on the perspective. Like, you can give it a very complex task and you're confident that it will close the loop, especially if you tell it close the loop. If you have any questions for me, we ask them at the end. Get a working version up live. You know, I generally do things when I go to bed and I tell it to do X, Y, and Z and have it ready by the time I wake up. And it closes the loop. And it's a great time to obviously give it those types of long tasks because you're about to go to sleep, so you don't care. But I'm curious, Koi, are you running it off of... I've been hearing reports of the $20 month plan being incredibly slow versus the $200 month plan. I'm not telling you to upgrade. I'm just trying to understand which plan are you on, because that might be why it's running a little bit slower. And then one other test you can do is like, does that same model and reasoning work faster for the same task in the Codex app? That's one thing to check as well. Yeah, he's an acquired taste. He's an acquired taste for sure.
Persistent servers and databases for my quick one-off projects. I built a lot of random things on Railway. It's been awesome to work with. Railway made a bad choice early on to build on top of Google Cloud because Google Cloud's primitives best matched what Jake had in mind for Railway initially. Also, fun fact, I was interviewing at Railway in 2022. I would have been the 4th employee at the time, but Jake encouraged me to go do my own thing, even though he gave me an incredible offer. I chose to go build what became Ping and T3 tools and also make this channel. That's why I'm here now. Fuck, I misremembered. It was 2021, not 2022. This was way, way back. I'm very thankful to Jake for being a mentor and helping me start my business and make it what it is today. I owe him a ton. I've never been hesitant to push back on his thoughts. And when he told me they were building on Google Cloud, I was very, very skeptical, but he insisted they had the right pieces, as frustrating as they were. That went so poorly that Railway ended up building their own metal and building their own cloud and moving as much
So I had to update the desktop app for this to actually work properly. Interesting.
As they could. Their servers run on Railway hardware, but their web layer, their CDN and all of that is still built largely on Google Cloud. I don't think it will be much longer because Google Cloud blocked the Railway account entirely, which took any web-facing service at Railway offline. On one hand, you own the service, Jake's responsible, Railway's responsible for any downtime and outages, and this is a really brutal one. I think it's still out right now. I wish I could say this is the first time Google has done something like this, but I know way too many examples. This is one from 2 years ago where Google accidentally deleted an Australian customer's account. This isn't some random Australian. This is a $135 billion company. Well, 90 bill US in pension fund management. Google Cloud CEOs confirmed that the disruption arose from an unprecedented sequence of events whereby an inadvertent misconfiguration during provisioning of UniSuper's private cloud services ultimately resulted in the deletion of UniSuper's private cloud subscription. The funniest part about this one is they had a backup in place with a different provider. Thank God they were using something other than Google Cloud for their backups, or they would have lost everything. And they were able to minimize the data loss by having that other backup. It's almost unprecedented to think that an organization of that size could just have their entire cloud account completely deleted. Your entire search, all of the applications you're running, all the data those apps store, all the views, yada, yada, it is actually insane. People originally thought this was a cyber attack because of the severity of the error. I have heard stories like this far too many times.
I'm wondering,
Things
like,
is
with that
absurd.
update, is anti-gravity finally fixed for me? I'll test this off air.
As rate limits that Google didn't even know were in place being hit by Railway, causing their stuff to go down and nobody internally could respond to it. As someone who shits a lot on Azure and deals a lot with AWS, these problems are Google Cloud specific. Azure is sometimes weird and slow, but if you raise enough alarms, they'll do something about it, and they certainly won't accidentally delete your account if you're spending $2 million a fucking month on them. Azure might be shit, but they know how to make money. AWS, still has their stuff together. There's a reason they're number one. It's because they actually work. Google Cloud is a joke. It is actually insane how bad and unreliable and terrible it is. But I haven't talked much shit on it for a while. There's 3 core reasons why. Reason 1 is because the last time I tried to talk shit on Google Cloud, nobody cared. It was one of the worst performing videos I ever did because Google Cloud is so irrelevant, most people don't give a shit. Reason 2 is I'm scared for my channel. I mentioned this at the start, but Google has had a bad track record here of demonetizing, limiting, and marking my videos as dishonest because I talked. I'm still scared because it's not. The third reason is one you might not expect. It's actually 3 reasons. They're named Dimitri, Jack, and Gal. These 3 people have been awesome to work with. They've never been shy to DM me, to correct things I'm wrong about, but also thank me for the things I was right about, to give me the insights and information I need to cover these things responsibly, and to give me faith that the Gemini CLI was going in a good direction. They are why I didn't talk shit, because believe it or not, I only tend to go public with my complaints when the private ones aren't being addressed. That's why I've been so hard on Anthropic. That's why I'm generally relatively quiet about OpenAI, because when I have an issue with OpenAI, I tell them and they usually fix it. Dimitri and crew have been awesome about this. They were very upfront when I first complained about the Gemini CLI, saying, my DMs are open, give me all of the feedback, we want to address it. And they have. All 3 of these people have been incredible to interact with. And
I feel like these 3 are worth a follow. And this is also a fun way to just find the right people to follow. What is that? Galda Wave. Galda Wave. Let's throw on notifications there. How do you spell that? Lialin.com. Bam.
and they have all.
Jack Wath 98. Nice.
All 3 of these people have been incredible to interact with and work with, and they built a ton of good faith from me. Enough that despite not using the Gemini CLI and other Google tools, that giving me faith they were actually going somewhere with it. Status is for these people, but I am sure that Dimitri, Jack, and Gal would at the very least accept a DM right now. These people are good. I will stand behind them, even if I have to stand against $1 trillion company in the process, because all 3 of them did such a good job that they prevented this video from happening for over a year. And now that they've been screwed over, I'm not waiting anymore. I'll risk it all, because what the fuck are you doing, Google? How do you throw away the work of these awesome individuals in favor of absolute fucking slop? The same day you mislead everybody with numbers about how fast and cheap this model is. It's just so bad faith to put this chart in this announcement and not include the price anywhere. And also take down Railway entirely the same day. Google is not just a company that doesn't care. It's a company that's incapable of caring in its current structure. And I have honestly spent more time helping my friends at Google leave than I have spent building or using anything Google makes right now. They can still turn it around, but I don't have any faith they will. Google has all of the things they need to make something incredible. They have the infrastructure, they have the talent, they have the ecosystem, they have the TPUs, they have the research. But the result...
All right, let's switch gears back. That was a fun watch. One last hard refresh to ensure we're good to go. Oops. Yeah, because it's insanely expensive. I think it went from $150 per million out to $9 per million out on that flash model, from 3.1 flash light to 3.5 flash. It's kind of insane. Nice. Ah, okay. That's interesting. That's very, very interesting. What thinking level are you using for, or the reasoning level? Like if you're using high or X high, maybe that's the reason. Maybe try using medium. I have all my bots on medium except for my personal OC bot, which required high reasoning because there's just not enough context for it to do a good enough job. Did it already? I mean, they kind of have to jump on it, right? All right, I think that decides. I'm glad I didn't record this week's videos yet, but I feel like I should do like a just vibe coding with Gemini 3.5 Flash, using anti-gravity CLI, trying to use the anti-gravity IDE again, seeing what happens. And just, as much as I don't like the idea of making that video and then talking negatively on it, I don't know, I feel like that's got to be one of the videos this week. An extra 3 weeks of build time. Yeah, for me, listen, I'm running the one OpenAI $200 a month plan across so many different setups, and I have yet to reach a 5-hour. I've gotten close to 5-hour blocks, but the weekly block, I usually breeze through it without worrying, without sweating. It's awesome. Yeah, and that's what yes, for sure. And that's why I use it for prompt browser. I pay for API tokens to use that for a prompt browser, for sure. Now, this is another one on my list I need to watch. All right, looks like with that last update, the TUI chat broke. Is that true? Let's hard refresh the actual dashboard to see what happened. Actually, it says gateway status is stopped, but I can load the dashboard. Yo, good afternoon, John. How you doing today? And this could also be why. Like, watch us start hitting, like going back to it, Maestro, maybe you'd be hitting 100% if we didn't get that 2x usage right now. You know what I mean? So maybe it's best not to spoil yourself to the point where your expectations are you can do X amount of work, because when that 2x usage ends, it sounds like you'll be hitting that 90 to 100% marker, just with what you're sharing right there. I'm also a bit delayed on when I get to comments sometimes, so forgive me on that. But that's something I should look at. Let me actually take a quick bio break, grab my iPad, and I do want to put on the live stream here on the left just to see like how far behind is it. I'm very, very curious. So give me 2 minutes. there. Actually open up the YouTube app here. Readjust this. There we go. Let's see what happens here. Oh, you noticed that? Yeah, thanks for the tip. Thanks for the tip. I like it. I don't know if that'll be on there for long form videos, but for live streams, it's a nice touch. It's a nice touch. I mean, for live streams, it's a nice touch. There's a delay for sure. Sorry, I'm just counting. I mean, yeah, it's about 20 to 30 seconds on my end. And I'm right here. Like, I think that's just normal with YouTube. I think the best way to stay on top of it is I need to update our blog, but I have some accounts here. Let's go find this one here, Tebow. He drops a lot of OpenAI. Oh, we got to fix that. Okay, that one works. Did Tebow change his name? Oh, interesting. Yeah, so let's do a quick update on Clearmud.ai's blog. Currently on the left-hand side, we have this column that says keep your finger on the pulse. The Tebow link is broken. Please update it to this link and this tag. Please and thank you. And don't wait for my approval. I want you to just commit to get merged to main as soon as you're done with that change. Just QA it yourself. Make sure that once you visit the blog, you click the link, it actually takes you to that profile. The other one works good. The other one for Anthropic TRQ works great, so no need to touch that. All right, let Muddy and Elon do his thing. Let's go back here, do a quick hard refresh. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I think it's normal. They reset usage Saturday after fixing the high error rate issue. Yeah, just because they can. Yeah, I've heard this from other people as well. Sometimes it'll take, you know, up to a minute, but I'm noticing just here locally, it's 20-30 seconds. No, I have not. What's going on? This one here? Oh, that's a good tip. That's good to know. Oh man, now I need to do it. 30 minutes. I'm guessing you mean 30 seconds. Yep. That was it. Yeah. You know what's funny is I saw this in my morning brief, but I didn't dig into it. Wow. That's all it took, huh? That's wild. Yeah. The definition of user error, right? It wasn't the infrastructure. I mean, maybe the security could be better, right? But that's the definition of, I guess it's not technically social engineering, but in a way it is, you know? Because you're not trying to hack into the platform itself. You're just trying to hack into one of the employees who has access to that internal system. And that's essentially what happened. Wow. Yeah, it was called producer.ai. Producer. But they renamed it, I believe, Flowusic.app, because it's a part of the Google suite of tools. They acquired this, what was previously producer.ai. So I have a Google AI Ultra sub, so I don't know what the limitations are with a free account, but I just started creating different variations of beats. And then once I got certain styles in place, I created these two playlists. One's more like beat, kind of like classic hip hop. And then the other is more of like a jazz type feel to it. And that's honestly what I've just been having these, 13 songs in a loop. Let's actually switch it up to some jazz today. I need to take some time to increase the size of this playlist so there's more uniqueness to it. But I've been loving the vibe. I don't get sick of it. I honestly have this looping all day as brain music when I'm not playing some FKJ. Which, by the way, a lot of this was inspired by FKJ, French Kiwi Juice. If you don't know about him, go check him out. He's worth a find. If you like that type of music. Yeah, no, I've never stored any secret keys on GitHub repositories, period, ever. So I'm not even going to take the time to do that. Yeah, we really are. We really are. It was Riff Fusion before Producer? Wow. Producer is just such a solid domain and solid name. We really are. All right, let me make sure we're live there. Good. Nice, nice. All right, let's go back to it. Session ended. What did you find? You're still working, huh? Let's actually go check the Hermes Asian dashboard. This is where we want it fixed. There we go. We're back. Now I do want it to finish its work, because I don't want it to go resetting the gateway one more time when I start going down the path of working on the Atlas. So if you're new here, you know we like to squirrel. If you joined us because you want to see me build custom plugins, that is starting soon. We had to warm up for the live stream here. I'll keep that open because we want to test it. Still working, eh? Today we're working on Atlas. It's a plugin that I'm eventually going to release, right? First, I'm fine tuning it for me. But it's also going to be very specific to the type of dashboard people are setting up and the type of multi-agent team people are setting up. It may not apply to everybody, but essentially it's going to have a default list view, a floor plan list, a floor plan kind of like architectural view top down. And then based on that floor plan, we're going to create a 3D version of it. And it changes based off of whatever theme you have, right? So it's a plugin for the Hermes agent dashboard, but I have it as a module here, right? Where it styles it per my OS. But the single source of truth is this plugin, and I'm calling it the Atlas for now. I could have sworn I labeled it Agent Atlas, but it just, I guess it thinks one word is better. So we're gonna work on this today. And because we finally dialed in our profiles and how things are gonna work. And now it's just a matter of fine-tuning this part, and then we'll release it to the public as well. I'd say realistically next weekend I'll create a video around this, and then we'll do a download link by that time. Maybe. Yeah, no, I don't think I would drop it this weekend. I'm just thinking practically from time. Ah, don't you hate it when that happens? Nice. G-Stack, I do not. Skill pack for Claude Code by Gary Tan. Is that what you're referencing? I mean, we're gonna have to show it some love, because I swear most of the alpha on this channel comes from people in the audience. So thank you, Cross-Eyed. Let's go down to the README here, eh? You know what? Come to think of it, I've heard of this before, but I was reading about it more than looking at this GitHub repository here. Interesting. Ooh, this sounds fun to experiment with. And to just make use of my Claude subscription more than I have been. You know what I mean? Like, interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Yo, thank you, Sensei. I'm gonna have to play with this. This might deserve its own video, to be honest. It's built out quite a bit here. Interesting. I think I have a use case for this almost immediately, honestly. All right. I need to throw that into do. I wish there was a way to star things. I guess I could change the icon. Yeah. Ah, okay, okay. Looks like he built it with Claude. And updated 1 hour ago. It's nice. So he's constantly updating it. This is great. It looks like I know what I'm doing on my spare time this weekend, if I'm being honest with you. Aside from finishing one final room of renovations, which is the bathroom. You got to finish sanding and painting. Painting the walls and then painting the trim. And then this apartment's finally done since I've been back. It's wild. Took me 3 weeks. Now, mind you, it would have taken me only 1 week had I just only worked on the renovations, but that's not all I was doing. Is this really still running? What are you doing? Oh yeah, and one thing I also have been working on is the chat bubble here. And it's independent, right? So as Hermes updates Mr. Baker, this will continue to work as I'm configuring it, but you can essentially float it as you're operating within your own OS. I think the move might honestly be to incorporate this in the Hermes dashboard for those who natively use the dashboard, right? Oh man. It happens to the best of us. Nice. I'm gonna have to check these out. Thank you, Sensei. Oh yeah? Interesting. Thank you, Sensei. I think we're gonna try to work on it. It's something I built into Product OS, right? Because the question is within the Hermes agent dashboard. Yeah, let's continue working on Atlas and maybe we'll squeeze that in at the end. Listen, I'm just gonna start doing the work because all right, it's time we continue working on our Agent Atlas plugin. The list view looks good for now. I want to start working on the floor plan view. You know, this is a very basic graph that you have. The idea is think from an architecture's perspective who's working on blueprints, right? The top-down view of what a building or a room or an office would look like. I think that, you know, we should have a default floor plan view, but actually let's start off with the default floor plan view, and then the 3D viewpoint is a direct reflection of that floor plan. So first we have to dial in the floor plan, and then the 3D version of it, I'll give you a tech stack to build off of, but it should be also a direct reflection of that floor plan. Makes sense? And it should be an immersive 3D experience. I want to use kind of voxel-like characters to represent each agent, and then each agent should always have their own office. As we build out more agents and sub-agents, we can then, you know, incorporate them onto these viewpoints once we build those those out. But let's start with that. Let me know if you have any questions. All right, let this get to work. Yeah, listen, I love it. I get so much value from you guys. It's insane. It's insane. Like, the community is the real alpha, you know? And I've been noticing this since live streaming in January, right? When I think actually in January it did pick up a little bit, but I started live streaming, I want to say November, maybe even December. And there was consistently just 1 or 2 viewers. That's it. Not much. And one of them is still here today. He's probably busy today because he's a dad of 7. But Derek, he's an OG. He's been here since we had, I think, like 50 subs. And like since that day, like I value every single comment, all of your time. You taking the time to hang out with me on these live streams. First of all, thank you. But then second of all, it's like everyone brings so much value to the table. Like I value each and every one of your comments, right? And luckily we haven't dealt with too many trolls. There has been a few, but for the most part, like compared to other channels I've started in the past, like I'm shocked we don't have more trolls. It could also be, you know, YouTube's moderation, auto moderation now that they maybe didn't have in the past. But like we're not seeing too many of them, which is nice. But you know, all in all, I'm just trying to say thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for commenting. Keep it coming. This is how I discover new tools too. Open spec or spec kit. Okay. We're gonna have to check these out. Open spec, spec kit. Did that just... Is there a hotkey to switch this space that I'm unaware of? I don't remember hitting that hotkey. That's interesting. Weird. Okay, nice. To check these out. That's too funny. Yeah, I mean he is keeping the attention of the trolls. That's hilarious. Live QA passed. All right, let's go test it. All right, that's fixed. Wonderful. I gotta put some time on this week. We gotta get this finally working here. I think what I'm essentially gonna do is my morning briefs that feed me news. We're gonna do a rolling update here every day. Just update this. If you know, you know. Okay. Also with summer, this shirt's gonna have to go. This has been like the one constant in this channel. I always record with this shirt. I think I'm gonna have to do a dress shirt that's lighter weight because this is merino wool. So it's meant to keep, you know, yes, it can allow the breeze to come through in the summer, but for the most part, this is a winter long sleeve Henley that I'm starting to feel it right now. And I think it's time to switch over to dress shirts because I didn't have those over in Portugal. All right, let's go back to Product OS. Now, I think one thing we can also do is let's spin up a new session with Neo here. All right, I'd like you to take a look at for reference purposes, Agent Atlas, it's a plugin that we're working on for the Hermes dashboard, which it's also a module on Product OS. I don't want you to work on that, but what I want to do is build another plugin that allows users to turn their TUI chat in their Hermes agent dashboard into a floating chat bubble if they're not on that chat tab. Does that make sense? Also look at our code base in Product OS. You'll find that we have a chat bubble feature. If you're not within the the Hermes TUI module, right? A chat bubble appears on the bottom right hand side. You click that chat and it's a direct reflection of the Hermes TUI module, right? It has persistent memory, so the session doesn't close every time you navigate between different tabs. I'm wondering what would be involved in creating a plugin to create the functionality for end users to have this floating chat bubble across their Hermes dashboard. Is this possible with the way we built it? Is this possible in general? Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you. All right. Hey, thank you. Glad you like it. Yeah, I mean, I originally built it out for Muddy, that's why I was like, ooh, that's how I discovered the Hermes TUI built into the dashboard I was like, let me also build a chat feature for Product OS. And then it discovered that it had its own in here. And I'm like, whoa, that's really cool. Awesome. It took me 2 months of using Hermes to figure that out. I also wonder, is there a doc section for creating plugins? Developer guide, contributing, maybe under architecture, adding tools, I think would be the section we want to look at. Built-in core tools only. This page is for adding built-in Hermes tool to the repository. Oh, okay. Plugins. Build a Hermes plugin. There is a guide. Nice. Very nice. Let me hide that. All right, too much coffee. Give me a quick bio break. Ruby. Too much coffee today. Sorry, chat. I think I'm gonna get to the point where I start drinking my coffee earlier, so I get all that out the way, so I can just stay static on this chair here. Ooh. Hey, Mr. Baker, does a plugin exist for generative videos? For utilizing certain models? Like, one thing I'm trying with this, I'll tease it, but I'm working on a side project right now. Actually, sorry, I can't tease it. I'll tease it in the Discord. Yeah, I'll tease it in the Discord. I'll drop all the alpha in the Discord. Sorry, chat. It's a side project. It's not 100% it's gonna work. It's just an idea that I had, and I want to test it for 30 days to see how it goes, And if it works, it's going to be a freaking killer video that is going to bring a ton of value. Okay. Yeah, I'm aware that it ships with certain skills. But like, I'm wondering if we create also a plugin that very similarly to, you know, chat, where you can then select what model it's using, right? That would be really nifty, really, really cool. Did it ever? It must still be working, right? What? I might have to hard refresh that, maybe. Yeah, I had to hard refresh it, but wow. What is this? All right, I think we're gonna have to give it more references. So I think maybe the move here is let's go to Google Images, matrix floor plan for the first ship. There's a good, yeah, I didn't know how to spell that. I didn't want to guess. Maybe we make it this. My God, what? What? I just want the image, man. That's hilarious. Open image in new tab. I feel like that is not what I'm thinking. Here we go. I think I'm just gonna reference just a base for the default view first. Let's pick I wonder actually, should we go with the office? I know we did that in the Goats boot camp. But it's like kind of universally known at this point, right? I kind of like the idea of that. So let me just... Oh, that's right. We can't drag images into here yet. I might have to go start a... a Discord session for that. Edit thread. Or we did a chat bubble. Plug in. Oh, it's gonna bug me, isn't it? Agent Atlas. All right. Okay. I'll have to go take a screenshot again, huh? All right, you're doing some work with me on a session in the TUI, but I'm wondering if we should continue that work here since I can't attach images. Please reference this when you're working on the floor plan view for our Agent Atlas plugin, please. All right, let's catch up on some comments. Whoa, I love it. Ah, okay, very nice. Okay, I'm gonna have to check that out. I'm gonna test these this week. Yeah, so you enable it by, oh, I love the chat helping one another. You add TUI to the Hermes dashboard command in your terminal, you know, wherever you're hosting Hermes. And that should do it. Otherwise, you can just spin up a new session and say, hey, I'd like to add the --ty to the Hermes dashboard. Can you please handle it for me? And it'll do it all for you. And that should be all you need. Yeah, love it. Yep, love it. Love it. I guess I'm delayed with that, so Sean, I'm glad the chat was able to help you before I got to your comment. That's awesome. All right, find that most recent TUI session for context and make those changes right now, please. Let me see if I can go grab that session ID, actually. I should be able to. Where is it? Right here. Bam. Love it. Little trick if you want to continue your session in another chat, just go to the top of your TUI session. It should be able to find it on its own, but if you want to make sure it doesn't guess, that it can continue the work there. Now, let's continue down that path of turning the chat bubble into a plugin. Let's see if that's feasible. Oh man, a lot to read here, huh? Yep. It parks that iframe in a fixed DOM container. When you leave Hermes shows the bottom right chat bubble. Yep. Clicking same chat, not a new session. Geometry is persisted in local storage. Possible in general, yes. Possible is a pure drop in Hermes dashboard plugin today. Probably not fully if the requirement is the same exact. Okay. Okay, so persistence already exists, but a normal dashboard plugin only gets slots like plugin can render into the overlay slot, but it currently cannot grab the existing hidden chat page. Interesting. There are two paths. Add a small core dashboard extension point, then ship Bubble as a plugin. Okay, I have one question about this first path. Ooh, make a second chat client. I mean, that's not a bad approach. I kind of want to go with option A first and then try option B. So with option A, I wanted to make sure that, to me, that seems like the most favored approach. However, when we update Hermes dashboard, that core data, it's not going to overwrite any of that work, right? There was one line in there that made me think that might occur, right? So please make sure that option A is completely independent. So as Hermes dashboard updates and gets newer versions, etc., that the plugin itself would continue to work. Option B sounds interesting. I think let's curb that until we test option A. And then option C, I mean, making it a core feature and not a plugin, while we can get it to work with the current version, if we update the Hermes core files, like, that's not going to be persistent, correct? Like, that's not going to carry over to the new update. We'll have to essentially redo all the work. Please confirm. Yeah, love to see it. Love to see it. Oh yeah, what's really cool is let's see. I had him handle it for me, and I was able to change all the names of everything because it was configured via ID. So the only question I actually have is Discord developer. Let's just open up Discord. There we go. Discord. Looks like it's still called Cypher here. But it was able to change Cypher to Morpheus, essentially. And the reason I had it do that rather than delete Cypher and start up Morpheus is because we did all that work with getting him and Warren to talk to each other. And I made sure that everything was working yesterday. Which is pretty awesome. So hopefully that didn't just kill anything. I don't think it did. Yeah. Exactly. All right, I love that we're on the same page. Yeah, and we can always have an onboarding, right? Like we can first test it with us, and then I can test it on a demo Hermes account of mine. But I think like if there's anything that, like let's say user A wants to incorporate this chat bubble feature, but they have to do something. Maybe we take them through an onboarding process of a prompt they can feed their agent after they install and enable the plugin to get it to actually to work. Is this what I'm understanding? Oh. Yeah, let's try it. Option A. Go for it. All right, I haven't looked at the floor plan view yet, but I can already see that there's a lot of room for improvement here. Like, let's take the open work floor, for example. A lot of these agents overlap. I think that this should be responsive in nature. So regardless of the resolution or the size of the window when you're looking at this, each agent's container within the part of the floor plan should be responsive and should stay within that container and not overlap. So I essentially see all of our agents overlap in some way, shape, or form. Let me know if you need more context to improve here. Yeah, this is something I'm trying to avoid, right? I'd rather build plugins that are completely independent of that core. Now, some plugins might, some updates might also brick some plugins to where I'll have to maintain them, but that's what the Product OS team is for. I can just hand off that code base to them and they can make sure that it's, daily checked on and fix any bugs real time. All right. Yo, what's up, Sharma? Welcome back. How you doing today? Happy Wednesday. For the first, I want to say hour, we squirreled. We had a movie night or movie day, movie morning, whatever you want to call it. Did some random things, and then now finally we're working on custom Hermes dashboard plugins. Took us a little bit of squirreling, but we got here. I do want to change this. That's an ugly icon. What was he thinking? I'm just gonna manually pick one here. I think I want to go with social, maybe. I want to see people, some type of, yeah, a book and a user. I like that. I think that'll be solid. We'll see how it looks. Let me actually go look at one other thing. Does it have it? Maybe it's under charts. This is also kind of fitting for the Agent Atlas. Let's see how this looks first. Or was it? I swear. I'm just going to start a new session here in Product OS. All right, so I want to do some minor UI tweaks. The icon for the Agent Atlas module in Product OS, let's change it to this lucid icon. Oh. Still working? Still working. It still looks the same to me, so maybe I need to explain myself better. Maybe it's a matter of increasing the size and border of the floor plan rooms, so to speak. Also, this floor plan, it's I think it should be optimized for the styling of the Hermes agent dashboard theme. Just like in our list view, it adopts whatever the theme is of the Hermes agent dashboard. The same should occur with the floor plan. We should show, I love the grid, and then the agents should have a slight glow around them. But first we have to dial this in. Like, these agents look crammed on the open workflow. In the research pods, for example, they're just overlapping and hanging outside of the container. So I think the solution here is to use this entire canvas and increase the sizes of the containers for each room. And I think it's okay to remove Collab Lounge, systems runtime, and briefing room for now. All right, that's working. OC is still the heart of my operations. No, I don't think I would. I don't think I would. Hermes, don't get me wrong, I'm spending a lot of time in Hermes, especially on these live streams, but every day, every morning, I start with OpenClaw. It still handles my day-to-day. It still handles my content creation. I don't intend on changing that. I am going to be recording a video tomorrow where I'm just going to try to migrate my existing OpenClaw team and all the agents, all the crons, all the automations over to Hermes. And then I'm going to discover what worked, what didn't. I'm going to turn that into a video because I think it'll be very valuable to A, show the steps involved with migrating, and B, showing what breaks real time. And then C, just giving just a breakdown of like, if you have a complex system in place with a lot of moving parts, should you migrate? And then I'll share after my experience of recording the video. But I really don't see myself ever migrating that system over to Hermes. I'm building a completely separate system that is going to work in parallel with my internal system. But yeah, no, it's OC all day, day to day. But I'm loving Hermes. I got to say, Hermes is growing on me day by day. Yeah, happy Wednesday. Let's go back to the chat bubble, shall we? Let's go check our Hermes dashboard because I'm impatient. Where's the chat bubble plugin? It is nowhere. Okay, we're looking a little better. Not ideal though. This right here, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. This is a rule of thumb in all areas of life. Your personal life, your romantic life, your professional life, everything. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Don't try to fix, you know, something that's just operating perfectly. I know you didn't come here for that type of advice, but I've learned this through my, I don't want to out my age, but through my 30-ish years of living on this planet, you know. Interesting that it's taking that long to change an icon. Wow. That I'm shocked by. It did have to pull in a lot of context because it was a fresh session, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt here. Hey, I'm not gonna out your name, Sensei. You just let me know if you want me to call you Sensei or by your real name. But dude, thank you. These are killer. Ooh. Man, I really love your approach here. Man, I love like features from all of them, but I really think that wow. Don't get me wrong, I love number 1 and also number 4, but I'm also thinking from the perspective of like what looks good on a vector-based logo or a vectorized logo, and 3D kind of, obviously it doesn't work as well there. So I'm looking at number 2 and number 3. I love the mud underneath the eye on number 2, but then I love the eye on number 3. Because I do love blue and gold. Those are like, I mean, orange is one of my favorite colors, but it doesn't really fit the Clearmud brand. Clearmud brand is 00, at least right now my primary color is 0058B9 is my hex for the Clearmud blue. But that's obviously subject to change. That's just kind of what I decided decided on early on. And then the yellow, I currently use FFDD00, I believe. But those are like very like, you think Warriors basketball, right? It's like very Warriors-esque colors. Like a super like, you know, vibrant blue and yellow. Yep, I sure did. I'm looking down at my phone. So I saw a text come in, but then I also saw your email right below the text, and I was like, I saw a preview of the screenshots. I was like, oh, I need to look at this. Dude, thank you. Thank you. I'm definitely gonna dig into this a little bit later when I go through my ideation time block where I crank out a few drafts of the logo. Done. Yeah, I have to hard. That's the one bummer with this TUI in Product OS, at least, is hard refreshing Product OS to see any minor tweaks. It'll restart that session. And it looks like the dashboard is unreachable at this moment. But I don't like that logo at all. I don't. So I'm gonna have to find a different one. I think if maybe maps or typography type icons, or not topography, not typography, topography. Honestly, this square with the arrow pointing right, I kind of like that. Then again, let me just try searching. No. Unless I do this. I feel like that's more fitting for an agents tab. I mean, it is an agent atlas, actually. Let's try that. Yeah, and I think this is also depending on like your experience. Like, listen, for some people, migrating is the move. For others, it's not. And then for some, it's finding a middle ground. You know what I mean? I'm personally, you know, building out. I'll never show this one. I got to keep something for me. But I'm building out my own personal OC bot for my personal side of life, and it's been so consistent. It's been so reliable. The only thing I dislike about it, because I haven't fed it enough context and we don't have too many SOPs in place, you know, standard rules of operations. It's like or the correct term for it is standard operating procedures, right? SOPs. The medium reasoning or medium thinking level of GPT-5.5 on that personal bot is horrid. It's horrible. I was constantly like having to re-explain myself and try to find a different way to say things. Whereas when I just toggled it up to the high reasoning, it's been solid. So that's been my only gripe with that fresh OC bot. And I think in the coming weeks and months, it'll get much better to where I can use the medium reasoning like I can with Muddy OS and Clearmud OS. But yeah, it's that's just been my experience so far with that personal bot. Is the Ubuntu desktop that you use for Mac OS only, or is it an app that you download and use it separately? Yeah, it's an ISO image. So if you just go to ubuntu.com, I just downloaded the desktop version, but I downloaded it for the machine that I'm hosting it on. So depending on your machine, why are you not loading? Interesting. Depending on the machine, in most cases for a 64-bit based machine, you're going to download this version. However, if you're installing it on a VM hypervisor on a Mac OS and M1 or above, if you want to grab the ARM 64-bit architecture, ARM, that's the term for the silicon chips, right? Architecture. So, but Intel or AMD 64-bit standard, it's you download this one. And then yeah, I essentially booted from that ISO as if it's a disk, installed Ubuntu onto that fresh VM. So it's not actually an Ubuntu desktop app on Mac OS. I'm using VMware Fusion personally as my software. You can use Parallels, you can use VirtualBox. Those are just to name a few. You know what I'm going to do? Instead of having to keep resetting that session, I'm just going to do a hard refresh on this one here instead. That way I can keep that session live. And then I'll only hard refresh this when I absolutely need to. Ah, okay. That's something I haven't used much. I'll have to start using that, to be honest. Thank you. Yeah. Dude, thank you. Definitely give me some great ideas based off of like certain fundamentals or characteristics I want to incorporate. But I'm also trying to make sure I'm not like rigid on what I want, because what I want isn't always the best thing, you know? I'd like to think I have a great creative eye, but at the end of the day, sometimes you got to leave it up to a creative professional to decide that for me. Ah, okay. Nice, nice. I'm gonna have to check this out sooner than later. Okay. Yeah, I kind of like this better. I think that's the move. I think it's the bot icon. It makes the most sense for agent. Atlas. Although the word Atlas is, you would think you want to see a globe, you know? So it looks like there's actually still a disconnect with Product OS and the updated floor plans. Okay. All right, what if we structure the floor plan like this? Oh, is it still working? Yeah, he's still working. That's hilarious. Okay, I'm just gonna cancel out of that prompt. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, but it spins open this. I don't like that at all. Let's see if it actually loads the chat, though. I think because we're doing work here, it keeps kind of refreshing this dashboard, which I don't like. So I'm gonna wait until that's done and then we'll test this. That's kind of cool. Yeah, I want this to finish first. I wonder if the work he did here is causing this dashboard to load very, very slowly here. It's like my hard refresh isn't even doing anything. I'm just gonna try opening up a new tab instead. There's a clear disconnect here, but I want it to finish the work to figure out where it's coming from. Mr. Baker with the alpha. Dashboard is not reachable at this moment, so I'll test that in a moment. I honestly might just... because that TUI chat seems to be a very popular thing, I might just create a video this week, because I think it would be very valuable for people who didn't actually make it through that last video. Let's give it a try. Maybe I sneak this one out. Hermes agent TUI chat. TUI chat. TLDR of how to enable it. Work with it. And easily continue sessions if you have to reload. What else would we add to this? I mean, it would just be strictly a Hermes agent dashboard at TUI chat video. I'm kind of leaning that now as one of the 2 videos this week. I have to record them tomorrow. Going good, Pokemon, welcome. How you doing today? I have no complaints. It's a solid day. Weather's not too hot. Had plenty of coffee. Getting excited for a little lunch break coming up. It's been a busy day. It's been a, I don't want to say long day, but you know, I've already been at it for 4 hours. Not for the live stream, just 4 hours of quote unquote work in general. Yeah, I'm just outputting this script just to get the template, and then I'm gonna adjust the timestamps to kind of select what I want to talk about. I think this is a great idea. So thank you, Mr. Baker, because you're really like, I think we should, you know, expand on the TUI chat for sure and just make a video solely around it. You know what I mean? Rather than teasing it as a third of 3 different hidden features. Because that video was cool. It was great. I got a lot of good feedback from it. But the reality is there's too many squirrel brains out there. Most people either skipped to the end or didn't even make it to the end. You know what I mean? I just want a more basic one. What are you doing there? I don't think I'd use these titles outright. Let's just go strategy 1. Yeah, I love the idea of... Is it back yet? I really want this to finish its work because I don't know if this bricked our dashboard or if this bricked our dashboard. Shoot. But I don't want to go and fix it while it's mid session, so I think we're gonna have to practice some patience here. I guess restarting the gateway wouldn't hurt, right? Because it looks like this is stuck here. Is this whole VM just frozen? Is that what happened? Yeah, look, this entire VM just froze. Interesting. I've never had this happen. Huh. Well, I'll be darned. I might have to hard reset this thing. Yeah, just gonna reset it. Wow. Yeah, that's a first for me. Hey, thank you, Maestro. I was laughing at this. This is actually great, yeah. I may not rush this one this week because I already have an idea for the other video, but I think one of the 2 videos should be this TUI chat and sessions nav functions. Create so many damn unique passwords. I honestly sometimes forget. And this was supposed to be a placeholder. Good, I didn't forget that one. Yeah, wow. I mean, it should continue. Had to reboot the app. All right, it's back. Oh, nice. I love that. Oh, that's so solid, dude. That's great. Now, I wonder, would this work if you didn't enable the chat? I doubt it would, right? That's awesome. All right, this is getting better, but I want to improve on it a little bit more, and then we'll get into the 3D side of it here in a second. I mean, I thought I gave this thing enough resources. Let's go check. I want to say, okay, there's only 2 cores, but it does have 8 gigs of memory here attached to this VM. That should be more than enough. So I suppose this is also why another benefit in running Ubuntu server. You essentially draw less resources. Let's go to system monitor. I can close this TUI chat. And we can kind of just keep an eye on things here. But, I mean, I have a bad habit at the moment using 20 plus character passwords for everything. Super secure compared to normal password, but plain pain in the back side logging into agent VMs. Yeah, for sure. So like all my demo VMs and demo accounts and stuff, like originally this Hermes agent deployment was a demo. That's why the password's so short. By default, my password's rather lengthy. I wouldn't say it's over 20, but it's around 20. A lot of my admin stuff, it's very complicated passwords, but I always create new ones. Like I never reuse the same password. There's always something unique about it. Yeah, right? Exactly. That's why I'm wondering why it did that. What happened? Oh wow, Muddy is not self-cleaning here. He should always be closing his tabs. Interesting. Yeah, that's weird. Listen, that's the first time that's happened on that VM, so I'm just gonna consider it an outlier, you know? Interesting. Yeah, very interesting. All right, not a bad second pass. So I want to improve this just a touch more. I want to keep, you know, the human, the operator office top left. I think that's solid. I think we should also create hallways. So little dashed lines, double lines, essentially leading from one room to the next would be a cool little feature, especially once we get into the 3D side. I think operator office top left, and then the open workflow should actually be the entire right side of this canvas. So starting from that 50% mark off to the right, that way we give that open workflow more room for more agents. And then I think the research pods should be directly connected to the operator office, whereas the review and QA needs to be directly connected to the open workflow. Try this. Let's see how it looks. That's wild. What? I'd love to help to try to troubleshoot what's going on there, but wow, that's wild. All right. Oh, now we can go ahead and check that, while it's doing the floor plan, let's go check this chat, shall we? Ooh, look at that. Can we adjust the size? No, we cannot. Looks like it does open this. Interesting. Okay. All right, not a bad first draft. Now, for the floating chat bubble, it's no point to see what models, right? I think that we should go full screen to that main chat tab to then see that vertical menu on the right-hand side. I think it should just be the chat. And then if anything, we should add an icon for sessions, maybe a chat bubble icon of sorts that takes the user to the sessions, that then allows them to spin up, you know, one of those sessions hitting the play icon. Looks like the play icon works with the chat bubble, which is great. Another feature about this floating chat bubble is if we go back to the default chat tab, the floating chat bubble should disappear. Right? It should only be visible when you're navigating across the Hermes dashboard. Make sense? Get it done. Let me know if you have any questions. I gotta say, this is turning out to be pretty slick. Pretty slick. I love it. Anybody catch that reference right there? Pretty. I'm not gonna finish the sentence. I want to see if anybody catches it. I fixed it. There's an example of using goal on the Hermes documentation, which fixed many issues. Okay. Goal is when it just non-stop handles it until it fixes, right, your problem or whatever your request is. Maybe that's something we incorporate into. So let's add this to the calendar. I think we're just going to call this Hermes TUI chat. Full tutorial. And then this is probably where how to enable TUI. I'll just call it how to enable. I feel like it's going to be a short video, but curb your enthusiasm. Okay. Pretty. It's like it's a memeable Larry David, yo. Okay, let's go check the atlas, shall we? It's looking better. It is looking better. All right, looking much better. Now, you have these like an operator office, for example, in the center of it, you have this outlined circle with a gray tint called ops. You essentially have it in each of the office rooms. Remove that. That is, I don't understand the purpose of that. We have the tag of what the room is on the top left-hand side of that container. So, you know, I think if there's only one agent per room, it should be centered. If there's 2 agents per room, it should be centered. both horizontally and vertically. If there is any more than 3 agents per room, it should be anchored and aligned left to right, top down. And I see we don't have an agent yet for the review or QA. So let's add, rather stay tuned as we will add one in the near future. Overall though, we're getting there. There is still, you know, those 2 or 3 grid spacing on the bottom. Like, we can use more of this default floor plan, right? You're leaving too much empty space on the very, very bottom there. So fix that. And I think we'll be ready to move on to the 3D as soon as you optimize this here. Yeah, I mean, didn't Larry David work on Seinfeld as a writer, if I'm not mistaken? Pretty sure he did. Perfect. Okay. Sessions, full chat. Yeah, it appears to be a bug when I click the arrow that takes me to the chat tab. Then it just sits as you see on the screenshot. We've got to fix that. The floating chat bubble should disappear altogether, and it should just load the same session for that chat. Full screen, how it would normally come, you know, by default. And now it's almost like, yeah, I'm noticing also another bug. When I hard refresh and I pop open the floating chat bubble, it works across all the tabs. However, if I click the arrow to go back to the main full screen chat and we discover that bug, I then try to navigate to another tab and the window is essentially just stuck. This floating chat bubble is just stuck on screen until, of course, I hit the button below, then it starts working again. Looks, shall we? Hey, this looks much better. This is looking much better. All right. Sweet. Now, let me check one thing really quickly. OpenClaw. All right, listen, I think we're at a good stopping point for the floor plan. Now, for the 3D view option, right? So this should be an immersive 3D experience, meaning it's got to be three-dimensional, right? So I want each character to represent what's called a voxel styling. I can give you a screenshot of a reference if you'd like, but first I want you to create a 3D canvas representing our floor plan. And each agent should have its own 3D characters sitting inside of that room. Now, depending on where the camera is looking into the room from, that wall between the camera and the agent should always be invisible so that you can see inside of the room. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you need a reference or a specific tech stack. I want to see if he should be able to figure this out on his own. I mean, my OC agent was able to build something with the plainest of English. So let's see if that was enough. Shall we? All right, this copy feature is really bugging me. Look at the bottom, like it's a full width button and it's slightly cut off. I'm wondering, can you just add a copy paste, like a double file icon onto that top menu bar to copy the last response, and then remove that at the bottom, because it overlaps with where I would type in a message, unless of course I resize it. No, it still overlaps even as I resize it. Let me know if you need more specifics. Let's actually test that feature. Go to full chat. Okay, takes us here. Nice. Has this weird little bug, but I mean, that's fine. Beggars can't be choosers, right? It's working. Persistent. I can only grab one corner though, so I'll have to fix that. And let's see, I automatically go back, it automatically hides. It doesn't automatically reopen, but when I open it, it continues the session. That's cool. Okay. All right. I think that's good enough. It's looking good. See how it does. Yep, right. Yep, 3.js. It's exactly what we used for another system. That's perfect. Yep, we always keep the floor plan data as the source of truth. Voxel style characters look good. Yep, camera aware invisible wall, immersive controls. 2 questions. Yes, you can use 3.js. And give me 1 second on that voxel character reference. You know what we're gonna do actually? Didn't I build something out for fun in a live stream? I remember it looked pretty sweet. Let's go look for it. I'm gonna screenshot that instead. I think it was vibe coding with Opus 4.7, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, it was a video. It wasn't a live stream. This one. Yep. All right. Kind of like a round table. I think that's good enough. One thing I'm noticing, there is a disconnect. Yeah, so I'm just did a hard refresh on Product OS. We're doing some work on the Agent Atlas plugin, which is, you know, our Agent Atlas module, which should be a direct view, a direct reflection of that plugin. But I see here that on Product OS, our floor and 3D do not reflect all the work we've been doing on that plugin within the Hermes Agent dashboard, optimizing it for the dashboard first and foremost. Where is that disconnect? I was under the impression we configured this module to feed from that plugin. So if we make changes to the plugin, it'll reflect in the Product OS module. Let me know what you find and let me know what you fix. All right. I could have sworn I saw... Oh, that's hilarious. He used Among Us. We'll fix that this weekend. Sheesh, time really flew by. It's already 11:30. Wow. Wow. Okay. Now, just to be clear, if we were to update Hermes today, this floating chat plugin will work tomorrow, right? Nice. Cool. Also, what is this title Hermes TUI? It should be Hermes TUI. Or TUI. Wow, that's on me. That is on me. Okay, so it's only if Hermes changes the internal chat host markup. Got it. And routing behavior, which could happen at some point. That's happened to my Muddy OS chat feature as OpenClaw has evolved and improved and over the months, because I've had this working for months and months. I've had to repair this a few times, which is a bummer, but So that's kind of what I'm worried about. So I'm gonna have to do like a disclaimer, like, listen, this plugin works as of this version. We will update it as often as we can. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to do that. Do a Hermes TUI chat. Full tutorial. I think having this also as a video prop. I don't know if we need all this. I'll optimize this description a little bit later. Really want to see the first 3D output before we end today's live stream. But it is lunchtime and break time. So hopefully it finishes up sooner than later. Just gonna go throw some ice cubes in the rest of this coffee. BRB. We are committed here. I should be making some lunch right now. What's everyone working on the rest of the day and the rest of the week? I'm curious. For me, I'm finishing the testing of our partner portal. That's going live very soon because I'm just trying to reduce friction and time on my end so I can continue focusing on testing and creating new videos rather than dealing with, you know, hundreds of emails a week. At this point, like it's a little ridiculous. So the partner portal is going to help with that. What else is on the list for today? Some ideation. I'm going to finish deciding and scripting the 2 videos that I'll record tomorrow. Then tomorrow, got some appointments in the morning. We're going to record some videos, get the initial edits done. That way, Friday, I can just focus on, you know, SFX, VFX based edits for the timeline and schedule the post by the time I go to bed. And then obviously live stream with you guys on Friday too. And that's the main focus this week. And then Saturday, finish the renovation in the bathroom so I can pull all these tools out and the paint, all that fun stuff. And shoot, I also have to call the dealership as well this afternoon. But yeah, chill week. It's nice that things calm down a little bit. For the moment. I know that changes from week to week. But I am curious, for anybody still watching or anybody watching this recording, who's interested in getting this plugin for this floating chat bubble? Or who's going to create it themselves? You know what I mean? Because I just showed you the process from start to finish. It's not very technical. We just started a session and started prompting to get our desired output. It's not perfect, but drop a 1 in chat. Let me know if you want to see this. And if you're watching this recording, say plugin, please. Just say plugin, please. That could mean either the Atlas or the chat. Now, dare I look ahead of time? Yeah, no. Ooh, dare I look? And dashboard crashed. Hard refresh. Dashboard crashed. Dashboard crashed. Okay. 3D view is crashing the dashboard, but in his defense, he is still working. I'm not gonna say a word until he says done. Hey, right on, Sensei. Good to hear. Good to hear. I get these. I hope to have both of these. Maybe the chat we can drop a little bit sooner. Maybe I incorporate it as to a bonus on tomorrow's video. It's a thought. That's a thought. Atlas should be ready by next week, by next Friday, because we'll work on it throughout next week as well. Unless I make significant progress between today and tomorrow and Friday's live stream, maybe we drop it before the end of the week. But it's also my hope that, you know what? I think I just got myself a video idea there. So let's go back. Custom Hermes agent plugins. Floating chat plus agent Atlas. Maybe we turn it into a video. Demo the 2 plugins we built for our Hermes agent dashboard. I think that actually might be a better solution than, you know, great minds think alike, because I was just thinking to myself, you know, he never answered me. Nice. Hey, whatever you prefer, you know. Because I saw your email, I also know that some people prefer their first names rather than their screen names. You know what I mean? So what I'll probably end up doing now is it'll be a hybrid between Brendan and Sensei. Brendan just reminds me of the Step Brothers. Have you heard that before? It just reminds me of that movie now, that name. I intend to build a API token management system for my shared agent services VM. I also want to implement Hindsight as another shared service. But since when do things ever go to plan? Yeah, I feel it. Right on, right on. I'll get these live as soon as possible. I'm thinking this is the solution. Make a video that highlights them and then drop download links. You know what I mean? Ooh, I'm not even going to look at the other strategy one. Really? I love the movie. Will Smith, or not Will Smith, Will Ferrell. Will Smith keeps my wife's name out your mouth. I'm not going to cuss here, but Will Ferrell is one of my favorite actors. I know he's not everybody's cup of tea, so to speak. He's an acquired taste depending on the type of humor you're into, but I just love him as a comedic actor. I never took him in serious parts too much. I never watched those movies, but man, that movie Step Brothers, I might have to go watch it again tonight just for S's and giggles. You know what I mean? I'm trying to really keep my PG mouth on with this live stream. It's tough. It's tough. Which leads me into my next squirrel topic of the day is I think once we open up Discord to the public and we create the 3-tiered kind of approach, I think for tiers 2 and tiers 3, not for the default tier, but like if you're already in there, you'll be either tier 2 or tier 3. I'm essentially going to migrate everybody who's in there. If you're not in there, Sensei or anybody else who's been tuning into the streams, drop a comment below. Let me know you're interested, but I'm aiming to have that live by June 1st, pending everything goes well. But realistically, probably July. I kind of want to start doing some Saturday streams where I'm not so much like don't get me wrong, I'm happy to be helpful, but it's more so a place to just hang out, share the screen, silently just vibe, build shit, just have some fun, no filter, I'm kind of feeling that, but all in due time. I don't want to rush into that. I have a lot on my plate right now. Being gone for a year, the amount of things that you leave behind unaddressed, that you have to address when you get back, I underestimated it. I underestimated the amount of work I had to do. Oh, right on. Yeah, dude, right now it's super small. It's super it's just a small community of people just sharing what they build, sharing, asking questions, everyone answering, helping out, answering one another. I'm not always in there. I try to be. I definitely want to start time blocking an hour a day just to hang out in the Discord as my schedule kind of lightens up. But let me grab a few invite links. Ooh. Yeah, and we also removed the automatic prune. We had this Discord pruning mechanism. It was my hope that it would keep people engaged, but it ended up just kicking people who were just there for the vibes, So I disabled the automatic pruning feature on Discord that my OC agents were responsible for. I'm not blaming them. I set it up. Clearmud. All right. 7 days, 5 uses, copy. Bam. I want to, but man, I'm kind of feeling some comedy now. Yep. Ain't that the truth? Let's go add to calendar. Interesting. I might have a bug occurring with this Clearmud OS. I could have sworn unless I created that many today. No, you know what? No, yeah. Wait. This should not, unless I accidentally marked it, that should have been archived. Yeah, no, maybe it was just user error. I'm gonna have to keep an eye on this. I could have sworn I cleaned this section up yesterday, but I did just add 3 today. So I'm gonna move those into here because TUI chat is going there. I want to do this one this week, but I know it's gonna take a lot of time. Might have to delay this for next week since I'm already recording so late into the week. I feel like that's a next week video. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and set it for the 30th and then we'll readjust. I guess we could do this one. Does anybody want to see this one? I was essentially going to teach people how to do this. So I have my team here, and then I have a floor plan here, right? And then I'm honestly just mirroring this into Hermes. And then I have the immersive 3D experience here. I just don't, it's more of a vanity video. I don't know like what value that brings aside from just creating something that looks cool. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm kind of thinking I might just delay this one altogether. Unless you guys want to see it, just let me know. If you want to see that, I'll record that tomorrow. So it'll be 1 OpenClaw, 1 Hermes. This one, I'll also set date for next week as well. Put that on the 31st. I keep backlogging this one. I mean, at some point, I'm going to have to record that one. I just keep having others come to the surface. I think this one, I'm going to clear the date and backlog it. Yeah, no, something's going on with my database, actually. Yeah, I remember, I could have sworn I archived this. I'm gonna have to keep an eye on this today. Good to hear, good to hear. Yeah, this one's for sure happening. So I'll just set this date as the 23rd. I guess I was gonna do this one. I already have the video prop ready, but I feel like I should spend more time with Hermes before creating that type of video. So I'm gonna put that next week. This one will clear the date for now. Oh, did I create 2 of them? I'm gonna archive this one because I have it here. I mean, honestly, maybe I just push that one back to June. Starting to clean things up just a bit. I think that looks better. All right. Anyway, I like sharing my process as much as I can. I know that's not the most exciting thing to watch, but chime in whenever you want to see something specific. All right, let's hope that this part's done. Yep, Let's check what happened here. All right, let's go test it, shall we? Hard refresh, 3D, and bricked. Let's see if there's any errors. .3D and bricked. Just gonna screenshot that. All right, every time I toggle over to the 3D viewpoint, it just gives me a blank dark screen. Here is a screenshot of what I see plus the console error log. Hey, what's up, Derek? All good, man. I understand you're a busy man, you know. 7 kids is no joke. And hope you have a great rest of your day. I was just about to end it here. I was just being patient and I wanted to finish this Agent Atlas version 1. But today, obviously, the first part of the episode, we squirreled a bit. And then we finally got working on building out custom plugins. We built 2. Well, we were working on Atlas, which I started the other day. And then we built out this chat bubble plugin for Hermes, which is pretty cool. I'll be releasing both of these next week in a long form video because we'll need to test them, and I'm sure Hermes will update between now and the time I want to record the video. So we'll see if they still work after a Hermes update. But it's been a fun one, man. We missed you here, but we understand. Got to take care of your priorities. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, let me know what you think about that Matrix Rain background too. Also, I feel like we should be doing more of... Why isn't that showing? Oh, that's the one tweak with GoPros on OBS. I have to open it up, toggle. I'm also kind of thinking we should start doing more of this viewpoint. I prefer this one, but this is a vibe. You know what I mean? So we'll have to switch it up. And also, let me know what you think about having the video on the bottom left versus the top right for live streams. Just because of like what we're working on, it's better to like, I've noticed. Hey, let's go. Ah, very curious. Looking forward to it. That's hilarious. But yeah, everybody's feedback. I'd be curious to see, like, did you like that old positioning of the video and comments, or do you like this new one? I kind of digging this new one, to be honest. I'm just gonna have to be mindful of like, I'll have to like readjust things to like sit like this instead, maybe. You know what I mean? I don't know. There's like no perfect spot for my video to overlap. I just kind of have to move it as we work on different things, you know? Hey, okay. Let's see how it does. Hey now. I mean, it looks blurry to me, but really cool. Okay. I think the mouse adjustment feels weird. All right, please invert the mouse controls for me. Like, go opposite of the up down of the way it operates. It's just messing with me right now. Also, we should be able to middle click because left click and middle click do the same thing. I think middle click should allow us to drag the camera view on the x-axis and y-axis for that matter. If I drag left or right or up or down, you see my point? Also, I think that, you know, you have a border within a border here. So let's remove that border and just turn the entire 3D canvas into this view 3D with the list floor 3D toggle. Does that make sense? I'll send a screenshot so you see what I'm talking about. Yeah, pretty cool. But like, you know, for me, it feels too condensed. You know, I would want to improve on it quite a bit. But hey, listen, this is not a bad first go at this. At all. At all. I really like it. Don't, like, those names look blurry to me, right? Yeah. Or I guess I just had to zoom in and then they look a little better. And then also some other core features we should incorporate. If I click a particular room, the camera should automatically reposition from, you know, a diagonal angle, maybe anchor it on the left side of the room looking into it. Just so I can quickly zoom into a particular room, right? Listen, it's coming together. It's coming together. We're definitely going to need more time to polish it so that we can release it and hope that it works for everybody. I think, you know, a big thing to think about, it's like, this should always be static, right? We have to incorporate our default agent, which I guess is here as well. But I think the default should be in the operator's office is kind of what I'm thinking. I might move it there. Because he's more administrative, right? He's not a part of the team itself. So some things I'll have to fine tune a little bit, but like when we release it, it's like, okay, you, the human, plus your default, then the rest of your team that you build out, right? And this only works if people have multiple profiles. You see my point? But maybe we create, you know, this would be more involved, but maybe we create a version of the Atlas for solo teams, for 3 agent teams, for 5 agent teams, for 10 agent teams, etc., 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 right? That would require more work on my end, with just like planning through all of those different viewpoints. It's my hope that whatever agent you're using can intelligently adapt the Atlas, but chances are like it's not going to be plug and play for the most part. It's going to be dependent on the size of your team if it's plug and play. So that's like my only thought about this when I release it. It's like, I already know it's not going to work for everybody. We're going to have to create some type of onboarding mechanism for the Atlas. True. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't call a janitor an administrator. No offense to janitors. I'm not nothing like that. I'm just saying, it's like when I think default profile, I think administrator. When I think administrator, I think front office. You know, if anything, a janitor is more of like day-to-day operations, you know, or quality assurance in a way, making sure that the hallways are clean, that the cafeteria is clean, you know? But I feel like a janitor would go more on the open work floor or the QA column or room. Not sure. Right on. Well, hey, as much as I want to keep it running, time for me to go take a break, recharge, eat some lunch, get a little quick workout in. So I want to thank everybody for stopping by, spending their Wednesday with me. Thank you, Mr. Baker. Thank you, Derek. Thank you, Level Up. Thank you, Sensei. Thank you, Maestro. Thank you, Pokemon. Thank you, Koi. Thank you, Sharma. Thank you, Sean. And I can't keep scrolling up to pin. Thank you, Ryan, as well. And yeah, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. We'll be back at it at Friday, same time. But until then, happy building. Cheers. Also, drop a 1 in chat, or rather, if you're watching this recording, just press 1 in the chat below. Comment. Let me know you're interested in these plugins. and try to get them out as soon as possible. So cheers. Catch you guys on the next one. Yeah, thank you. You too. See you on Friday. Cheers.